the final moments of the race to the promised land. Let me tell you, it's been an exciting race so far. We've seen how God's people, the Israelites, have been in it to win it, with Joshua in the driver's seat.
For the Israelites, this is the moment. Earlier today, Joshua reported crossing paths with a man holding a sword and saying he's a commander in God's army. Ain't that wild?
Absolutely wild. What does that mean? Was he going to help the Israelites with a guaranteed win?
Believe it or not, Joshua asked that too, but the man with the sword said he wasn't on any side. I guess it means Joshua and his people are really going to have to battle for that grand prize.
Well, it's a good thing that God was going to help. Let's find out more in Joshua 6, 2 through 5. Now talk to me about how this is going to work. They're going to close out this race by carrying the Ark of God, which they have to hold very carefully, and have 7 priests carry trumpets. I don't know about you, Kinley, but this does not sound like a winning strategy to me.
Nor to me, but it looks like that's what they're going to do. There they go.
Wow, so they really are just marching around Jericho's wall. Day 1, lap 1.
Can't wait to see how this one ends. We'll be right back after these commercials.
To be a warrior, it takes more than weapons and great training. Sensei, teach me how to be the greatest warrior. Take this. Chichi shampoo, of course. If you learn to harness the power of the tea tree, you may become the most powerful warrior to ever live. Now in regular and spicy tingle.
And we're back. For the past 6 days, the Israelites have been marching once around the city and returning to camp.
For this final lap, they're trying something a little different. See what's going on in Joshua 6, 15 through 16. The sounds of the trumpets and the shouts are ringing throughout the arena. Listen to the crowd.
Are you watching this? The walls are collapsing. The Israelite army is charging in to take the city.
I can't believe it, and that's not all. The spies are searching out Rahab, who showed kindness to them before and helped them hide from the king of Jericho. Yes, they've located her, that scarlet cord, and she and her whole family are being brought to the Israelite camp.
It just keeps getting better. Nobody expected this outcome.
How could they? It was totally impossible.
I guess the rivals don't stand a chance when the Israelites are teamed up with God. What an amazing race. Israel takes the victory.
Thanks for joining us in Race to the Promised Land.
Lightning McQueen in the Cars movie started out as a fresh rookie race car whose only purpose was to race and win. But as his story went on, he started to care about others more, and then he cared about winning. So even in those instances when he didn't really win, he was able to have some kind of victory. Let's check out this clip.
I am not coming in behind you again, old man.
What's he up to, Doc?
What are you doing, kid?
I think the king should finish his last race.
You just gave up the piston cup. You know that?
This grumpy old race car I know once told me something.
It's just an empty cup.
Daryl, is pushing on the last lap legal?
Hey, man, he's not really pushing him. He's just giving him a little bump draft.
What's going on?
That's what I call racing right there.
Bravo, el mio amigo.
Way to go, buddy!
There's a lot of love out there, you know, man.
Don't embarrass me, Fillmore.
That's my hot rod.
If the Israelites had only cared about winning, they would not have marched around Jericho wall blowing trumpets. But they knew that God would give them the win in the right way and at the right time. Remember Rahab? She believed it too. She helped hide the spies that were scoping out the land. That's why she was saved when the walls came down.
God gave the Israelites victory over Jericho because they trusted God's instructions and believed that only with God there is victory.
Let's check out today's final again in our recap.
It's time for today's Bible story. It comes from the book of Joshua, chapters 5 and 6. God was going to lead the Israelites to take over Jericho. The people of Jericho had shut their gates and were guarding their city so that no one would enter in it. Joshua was near Jericho when he saw a man with a sword standing in front of him. The man was the commander of God's army. That's like an angel. He told Joshua to take off his sandals because he was standing on holy ground. Then he told Joshua the plan to defeat Jericho. The Israelite army marched around Jericho. 7 priests blew trumpets that made out of ram's horns. The Ark of the Covenant was being carried behind them. They believed that having the Ark was like having God with them. They marched around the city one time every day for 6 days straight. On the 7th day, they got up bright and early at sunrise. They marched around the city just as they'd done before. But this time, they didn't go around the city one time. They marched around it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And on the 7th time, their priests blew a long blast on their trumpets. Then Joshua told them all to shout because God has given them the victory. When they shouted, the big walls of Jericho came crashing down. The Israelite army rushed in and destroyed the city except for Rahab, since Rahab helped the Israelite spies. They kept their promise and rescued everyone who was in Rahab's house. The Israelites were able to defeat Jericho and be victorious because they listened to God and did exactly what God said. The walls of Jericho falling down are a reminder for us that with God, there is victory.
Hebrews 10:23. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess, for he who promised is faithful.